Everybody, and welcome back to the Coach Murray Show spring edition here. We're going to talk a little Indians football. I know we're behind the eight ball a little bit. You had the spring game last week, Coach, up in Toombs County. But talk about what all went on with the spring leading up to the game.
Well, you know, it is a busy time of the year. I mean, it seems like all the kids are involved in things, and all the parents, and y'all trying to do what y'all do. You know, it's hard for you to keep up with everything. But we completed our spring last Thursday night at Toombs. You know, that was just the ending of what I thought was a pretty successful spring. We had a lot of new faces out there working for 9 days, and then the scrimmage would be 10th day that, you know, they got some looks, learned some things. We learned some things about them as well. You know, overall, I mean, it was a good 10 days.
I figured you were going to run into a lot of new faces this year with so many graduating last year. But you got a good group of Braves that came up from last season.
Yeah, there were 22 kids that started spring with us, and we finished with 20. Now, I have, there's two of them hurt. They had some surgeries. Little Caden Garcia is one of them. He wasn't able to participate, but he was there every day. And you know, there's some guys that are going to be some lookers too. We've got a good class. I was talking to a college coach the other day, some young dogs. And I really think that some of these guys, especially there's some linemen that are really going to do some great things for us one day. And you know, I said, come on back to see them. But yeah,
I know with the spring game, you had a lot of multi-sport athletes play football, and I know you had track and baseball pulling a few of your kids too, didn't you?
Yeah, we you know, there was enough. We did spring a little early this year. Number one, because Toombs gets out a week of school early, and we were trying to avoid the state track qualifications that are next week. Traditionally, we kind of do it, but we'd have to do it next week with Toombs because they get out a week of school earlier than we do. And my son's graduating from Georgia this week, so I had to move it up for my personal reasons there. And it doesn't matter when you do it. You're going to have conflicts in a school our size, you know, around 400 kids, because you got kids involved in everything. The way we're going to be good in athletics is kids playing multiple sports. They're not just playing one thing. You know, we need our best to play all the sports that are available, and you run into conflicts. And I knew that going in, so, you know, kind of like my philosophy. Well, my philosophy about winning day, it doesn't matter. You know, we had to go out there and just get better with what we had. You know, we played the spring game the other night. I think Coach Wittenberg told me we had 5 guys that would be on offense that were not there, and we had 6 guys on defense that weren't there. So, you know, we basically had pretty much our JV squad for varsity, and then our JV squad was, you know, most of the guys were guys that just came up from 7th and 8th grade. Yeah. Guys that are just rising freshmen, you know, still in the 8th grade. But like I said, it happens. It happened. You know, nobody's fault. You know, once again, I'm going to say again, I was pleased with the turnout and what we had. You know, we just kept doing, trying to get better every day. You know, trying to get them to win it. And for my older guys, it's that I think I've got it. The beat in that winning the day philosophy, and just tell them that's what we got to do, and that's what we did. We took those 9 days and got better, and then we went over there and did our best the other night, and you know, I'm pleased with it. Nobody got hurt, so that's the biggest thing.
Oh, there you go. Hey, Sammy, what you got down there, man?
Well, Coach, you know, you mentioned a little bit about being shorthanded playing a spring game, which spring game is, you know, don't count for anything. It's just to get you guys out there and get you playing. What were some of the good points, being as short-handed as you were, that you saw out of the ball players out there?
Well, there's some good points. I saw some kids that traditionally have not played a lot that had to play the entire game, and I saw some good things about that. You know, I recognize that, hey, they can be a quality backup if we need that, or, you know, right now the position is theirs to lose. You know, I saw several young men that really stepped up and you know, did a great job in fall, and I'm proud of the way they performed the other night and all through the spring. And in the past, if we had our other guys out, they'd have been not getting as many reps. not about getting lost in the crowd, you know, but they had to step up and play. I mean, hey, you know, I told them, hey, you got to play. You know, it's not, you're not just showing up on the bus. You got to play. And you know, they did the best they could, and that's all I've ever asked them to do.
Right. You know, and you're talking about that where, you know, with this guy stepping up and playing, was there any particular position or player that you was looking forward to see? I know you got, you know, like you mentioned a lot of starters not being there, what the coaches are telling you. Is there any particular position that you're looking for that needs to be stepped up and filled?
Well, we got to get some depth on our linebacking core. You know, we lost some good linebackers last year, and we got several guys got some looks, and you know, we'll evaluate the film and things. I haven't nor I don't know how much Coach Swing has looked at film, and even Coach Higgins on the offensive side. But we'll evaluate and see. You know, linebackers one spot, and you never can have enough offensive linemen. And our second quarterback was hurt, so you know, hopefully we can get him back. But AJ Glover, who's a rising ninth grader, he did pretty well. I think he's going to be a good one. We just have to. You have to buy him some time. We don't need to stick him in there when it's, you know, early right now. Aiden's doing a real good job with that. But there are several positions, yeah, we did look at, and we're evaluating them still, you know. So to answer your question, we saw some stuff just off my head. Just there's some things that went on that were good, and we'll look more in depth with the film for sure.
You know, big senior class last year. I guess it was 20 seniors last year. We lost 21 seniors.
16 of them.
16 of them.
It seems like 20, but yeah.
But you know, we got a lot of kids coming back. Got a lot of playing time, and I know you guys, coaches, are always real good about getting these younger kids in the ball game when you can. A lot of them got a lot of experience to play. How big is that coming into this season?
Oh, it definitely, being an experienced player, you wanted that deer in the headlights look when you get out there, helped a lot. We did lose a lot of seniors, but we lost a lot of seniors that did play a lot, but they didn't play all the time. You know, we rotated people on offense and defense to where some of these juniors and sophomores, which would be our rising seniors and juniors, they got some playing time. They're not inexperienced. I mean, we took a big hit for sure to graduate, but it's nothing like we did at the class of 18 going into 19 my first year. I mean, we were starting from scratch, and you know, I'm excited because like some of the kids got to play, and they, like I said just a second ago, they showed me some things. And you know, of course, I'm gonna be realistic. There were some things that I was kind of let down about that I thought that some kids would have did a little bit more, but you know, they got their chance. They can't say they didn't get their chance, you know. So anyway.
And Coach, I wanted to ask you, we're taping over here today in the weight room. We're normally over there in the field house. How's the weight room looking this year? I mean, as far as participation, I mean, you guys have really emphasized weight training since you took over.
Well, I mean, that's a real important part of this football program. I think every football program it should be. Well, we had our power clean day today, and we try to power clean at least 2 to 3 times a week. But I wish we could do it every day. But it's important. You can see, you know, it looks used because we use the equipment and things in here, and hopefully, you know, we're trying to, you know, with this new school coming in, we're hoping we can get some new racks in here and things like that. But excuse me, it's been going well.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, of course, I've always, you know, we've wanted to do more. There's always room for improvement, but the kids are working hard. They bought into, you know, the hardest thing they did was to buy into what
Right.
you know we wanted as a program, and I think they're bought in. They know what to do in here. You know, kids will be kids. They'll play around if you let them, and even if we kind of give them a second or two, they don't do that.
Right.
And I'm impressed by their maturity as a group.
Yeah.
And that comes from them, you know, and their parents too, you know, and we just, you know, they know what's expected, and they do, and they perform in this weight room for sure.
Well, this year, this group here is quote unquote all yours, you know, from the last 4 years. You know what I'm saying? And you've got these leaders now, these freshmen, I mean, these 8th graders coming in, 9th graders.
Yeah.
They can, those older kids can tell these kids, young kids, what you expect out of them.
Yeah, that's right. I mean, it's pretty much, you know, I guess our program, you know, the guys I have in place, because these seniors, that's all they've known in high school is us. And the seniors that left this year was the same, but the ones before, you're right. This is the first group where they've known me since they were 8th grade, and as being the head of this. But like I told him, nobody's bigger than this. No one person's bigger than this program.
Right.
It takes everybody, and that's one of the things I try to drive home with them. Everybody's got to do their part, and the older guys have bought into that. They do encourage. And the great, when we look on the wall, those great programs we've had, teams that we've had here, we coached them, but I mean, it was the players, and Coach Mack would be the first one to tell you, those guys on the wall, they ran the team. We just kind of guided them. And when you get a team that can be run by the players the correct way, it's something special. We're not there yet, but we're getting there.
We're getting there.
The weight room, they just about do that. They know what you blow a whistle. They know what they've had some inconsistencies with. We're changing strength coaches again. Coach Stevens is leaving us, but they know how I do it. So, but I'm not the one doing it all the time. Coach Lord to be taken to do it. But when I come in and blow a whistle, they know what my whistle means. They know what to do, and that's just all about the kids buying in and doing the right thing, the correct thing, I guess.
I know, Sammy, you guys, everybody knows I'm hearing impaired, so I don't know if Sammy already hit you on this or not. But how's the coaching staff looking this year? I know every year it seems like we have one.
Well, we've got some changes. Coach Stevenson, he's going to leave us, and he's leaving. But we're going to move. Coach Lloyd's going to come down here and be our strength coach. Coach Lloyd's offensive line coach. He's been here forever. I think he'll do a great one. I mean, you can't find a coach that gets along better with every kid at this school. This weight room, it's used for football. I guess you kind of football program build it, but this is a classroom. We got kids, boys, girls, all of them from the non-athletes all the way to the greatest athletes we have working in here. And Coach Lloyd, he, with his education background, he gets along with everybody and has no problems with anybody. And kids love him, and I'm excited about that. He'll be in here. And with Coach Stevenson leaving, he also is our offense coordinator. Of all people, you wouldn't have thought this if I let you guess 6 times. I wanted to stay on in the program, with the coaching staff. I'm sorry to replace. And Coach Hagan said, "I want to be the offense coordinator."
Yeah.
I said, "Really?" The defense guy, but Joe's been a head coach, and he's coached for almost as long as I have, and he's got some good stuff now. We implemented a lot of it this spring, and it really started clicking with some of the kids, and we've got all summer to work on it, and I'm excited about that. And we still need to move Coach Porter. He came up from the junior high side. He's going to work this varsity this year, and we still got room for a couple more coaches, but right now it's yet to be determined. I know it's late in the year, but maybe we'll find some quality coaches.
All right, Sammy?
Just going back real quick, Coach, talking about leadership and experience on the football team, looking at the roster, I count 13 seniors that'll be on the team next year, and looking at most of them on here, most of them are returning starters.
Yeah, that's
so
right.
There's absolutely no lack of leadership on the team for sure, not including the juniors that'll be coming up. So the experience and the leadership is there for the football team.
Yeah, that's like I said earlier. We were hit extremely hard by graduation in 2018, and we were hit hard this year. We had a big class, and we're going to have a big class this year, but we're replacing with kids that have played. And you look through this roster that we had this spring, and I see your checks. Yeah, they all played a lot, and they, several of them played the other night, and then of course a lot of them didn't. We had 3 offensive linemen out, and that made a big deal. But yes, I'm excited, and that's one of the reasons why I'm so excited, despite what happened the other day. Everybody's just going to see what happened in that spring game.
Yeah.
But we're looking
at the 83 game at halftime, and then a blowout at the end.
I mean, we fumbled twice, and we got one stripped, and there's no excuse for that. But we had like 4th-string running back in, or maybe even more than that. I don't know how this is going to plan out. We had a kid that didn't play running back last year playing running back, you know. So, and he's going to be a good one, I think. But he's got to get the reps. And your analogy of that is correct. That we've got some guys that have played that are going to be there, and we're not done. I hope I'm saying that we're not done.
Right.
You know, just because we lost a great senior. There's guys that on that class last year better than most on this wall, and that's no joke. You know, the reason we had 4 kids sign scholarships, we could have had more, but we didn't. They elected not to go to some of the schools, but with the portal and the kids having an extra year, I think 4 kids from our program, as small as we are, is fantastic.
No doubt, yeah.
Because the scholarships just aren't. I was talking, the guys are coming today, and he's telling me about guys in their conference, and it's the one that Georgia Southern's in. I don't know, but there's teams in their conference that will not sign hasn't signed a high school player in 3 years. And it is what it is, but.
And that's all due to the portal system.
Well, yeah, the portal has a lot to do with it. Yeah, but they just pick and choose throughout the kids in the country. But one day I think this cycle will play out, but it's not right now. It's just a bad time to be a high school prospect, because you got to compete. 18-year-old has to compete against 23-year-olds. And I hate it, and I've seen me catching a little bit of. I say me. I do take it a little personal when we talk about our kids, but that we're selling the kids short here in Charlton County, and I take offense to that, because I try to make opportunities there, but these opportunities aren't there. It's not like it used to be. A lot of these guys on the wall. But they were great players. I don't take anything away from them, but they were there. The schools were signing high school kids. The Georgias and the LSUs and the other Floridas. They were signing high school. They weren't getting a transfer from. You know how great Georgia's playing right now. Oh, I'm gonna leave. So, well, heck, you good enough to play at Georgia, come on and play with us. And they don't even see any film really, But I think that just I'm gonna throw my opinion out. That's just kind of probably detrimental to a program after a while. That school is not. It's in Texas. Only signed in 3 years. They haven't signed any high school kids. Well, all of them hunting jobs now, because the kids they're not good guys.
Right.
But that is what it is.
Moving on a little bit, through the summer, Adder Springs everywhere. Give us a little rundown on some of the fundraisers coming up for the football team during the summer.
Well, we are going to do the golf tournament. We haven't done it in a couple years. I got to get with you and Brian and the quarterback club to decide we're going to do that. And we are going to do the rib thing, because that's a big thing. But we don't know yet when. The biggest fundraiser we have in the year will take place at the end of the summer. That's the scorecards.
Okay.
And in fact, the guy came up here today, and he talked to me a little bit. We had lunch, and he's excited. We set the date for, I think we're going August. Is August the 1st? No, January the 26th. We'll get the card. Or not January. July the 26th. Sorry, July the 26th, and it'll go through that first week of August. So they, if you get that, I know that's it. Everybody wants. We got some good stuff on there.
And you'll put this out so everybody knows what's going on.
Yeah, and I'll give it to y'all to put on y'all's website, and I'll put it on my Facebook and my Twitter. All about the cards and stuff. And one thing Coach Gordon I was talking about, he was one of Coach Mack's earlier. Well, I say earlier, not really earlier, but he played for Coach Mack during when we used to have a 1,000-pound club. We're talking about maybe trying to bring it back. And when we do that, when we get into having that, I think we're going to have a lift-a-thon. But we just got to set that up. And the kids get sponsors to get in that 1,000-pound club and be Iron Indians. I think that'd be pretty cool.
All right, Coach, I know you've got a big night tonight with the state cook-off.
Yeah. Well, we're having the scholarship dinner, and I appreciate everyone that's bought a ticket for that. For the last 30-something years, we've been able to provide $1,000 scholarships to as many as 5 in 1 year. The quarterback club has donated $5,000, to one of the players that you know, when they get in college, whether they got a playing scholarship or an athletic scholarship or not, to help further their education. And I think everybody's getting in their meals tonight, they're getting a printout of all the guys, and you'd be amazed about some of the guys that have been on there. A lot of them were up here on the wall. I know I think my brother was one of them, but I'm not sure. But they was able to, you know, and it helps out because, I mean, college, you know, it's expensive now. Trust me, it is. Every turn, I think it is. But we got that going on tonight, and looking forward to that and seeing people that
What this will probably be aired after the state sale tonight. But as far as any fundraiser, this tonight and the rib sales are probably the two biggest fundraisers for Indian football.
Well, yeah. Well, this isn't really. This isn't a huge fundraiser for us. We try to get the call. I mean, it is huge. It's big. It's important because the money for this goes directly into that scholarship fund, and we kind of limit the number of tickets because we want to cover our costs and cover, you know, the costs for the scholarships. But we have expanded it to. Usually there's 100 tickets, which is 200 stakes. We have expanded it to 120 before, so, you know, 240 stakes. But, you know, that's because it's 75 per couple, you know, and you get a great Ferry Coley and Roger Sloan cooked steak, and there's some. It's gonna start smelling good in a few minutes in here, and I ain't gonna be able to stand myself. But that is big. The biggest fundraiser is the gold card. The scorecard, and our rib thing. We also did something online this year, an email kind of drive fundraiser. We did pretty well with that. You know, the kids just like, you know, you give me 10 emails, I'll get 10 minutes, you get 10. We put it on the website, and it's there, and they'll send it to those things, and we're just asking for money to help the program, and they'll go to some good stuff because it is expensive. You know, I want the kids to have everything everybody else has got, but gosh, that stuff's expensive. You know, even the those shirts that they wear under their pads, they're like $20, $25. And you think, well, that's not, well, it's not that much, but when you buy them for 70 kids, that's the thing about football. You know, I got 70 kids to put stuff on, and one helmet is $320 now. Okay, so multiply that by 70. You know, people I hear it all the time, and I do not take this personal because they don't understand, but it costs a bunch of money to run a football program, and we don't have all the nice stuff that you see everybody wearing. We could get that, but we want to make sure we got the best equipment and things like that. And then we put it into the pot, and, you know, other sports, and that's what it's supposed to be. You know, put it in the pot, and other sports borrow from the pot, and they contribute too. I'm not saying that they don't, but you know what I mean. The other night at our scrimmage, gosh, I don't know how many people were there. And I know we probably had a crowd over here at the baseball. I know we did. But that's quarterfinal was it quarterfinals? No, quarterfinal. I don't know what it was, but, you know, then it should be. But this is just a spring scrimmage, and I don't know how many people were there. But I mean, their stadium was
traveled well.
Well, we had a lot of people, but they did too. You know, they're the same size as Pierce and Brantley and things like that. And that little stadium's not as big, and it was, you know, it was packed. It was a lot of kids, a lot of people there.
Well, that day the hometown Charlton folks were scattered all over the place. Baseball, track, golf, and football.
Yeah,
all at the same time.
You know, like I said earlier when we started, you know, with y'all being behind about stuff. Hey, it's just that way. I mean, people have to accept that as a community. I do. I don't take it personal. I don't want to be necessarily first all the time in my program, but I sure don't want to be last.
Right.
You know, I want everybody to support us, and I'm certainly going to support it. Like tomorrow, where will I be tomorrow? Right at that baseball field, and I want to support the kids because it's all about the kids.
Right.
You know, support them and everything they do. I don't care if they're showing hogs. Support our kids, and they like to do. You know, not all kids like to do the same stuff. I mean, my son did play football, and I love him just as much as I love if he did play. You know, everything worked out for him. He's going to graduate from Georgia Thursday. You know, he loved Dr. Pickering's class and forestry and things like that. He learned all about trees and things I had no clue about. He's graduating with a ag economics degree, you know, he talks about stuff, and I'm like, when I'm on the phone, he's talking, you're way over my head, son, but, you know, that's, you know, so my point is, all kids are different, you know, so support the baseball, support the basketball, and definitely support us. I do feel sometimes we get the short end of the stick, because like, well, all you ever do, you know, we do support football, but we support all of them. You know, we shouldn't take a hit for everybody else, nor should they take hits for us.
That's what we were struggling.
And it pains me, and I know I'm kind of preaching. It pains me because I go to all these events and I hear people say stuff that they don't think I hear them say. You know, about this, that. It's not a competition. It's really not. It's all about these kids.
It's all about the kids.
Yeah, that's right.
Anything else you want to hit on before we head out?
Well, I don't know. You know, we
I've got all night. I just didn't want to put you short on the steak stuff.
This summer, you know, we'll be really hitting in this weight room, trying to maintain. It's so hot, you really don't get strong in the summer. We'll just maintain, and we'll go out here and we'll run around and do different agilities. And it's, you know, it's really a short summer. We only have 24 days available. You know, people think, well, you got 2 months. It's only 24 days. So, you know, we'll be trying to get better, trying to win the day each day, because you can't win the day unless, you know, you win the morning. So we'll be in the morning trying to win the morning and go on and try to win that day, because you got to win the day before you win the next day, before you win that, you know, how I say it, you got to win the day before you win the week, the month, the year, you know, so.
It adds up.
Yeah, it adds up, and hopefully it will do.
I'm excited about the passing competition. This, you know me. You know, I always like to try to get out there and cover.
We're going, you know, we're going to try to go over to the what does he call it? By the Sea over at Frederica. It's on the 20th of June. You know, we're going to try to go to that. I think it's good. You know, schools our size, and there's a couple of them bigger than us, and we could be. You know, last year we finished second. We had to play like 10 games in a row. I think we won every game except the last championship game, and we lost on a forward pass that was from here to the end of the table, which you don't see that, and you got these linemen up in front, you know. But it is what's good. It's good. Gives our kids some work, and you know, 7-on-7 is good, and OTAs are excellent. You know, that's football, but hopefully we'll get into some of that. There's some stuff we have in the works with that right now, but nothing really set on everything. Some set, but a lot of us are working on.
I wanted to ask you too. Are we doing the neutral site game again this year?
Yeah, we are playing the Border Classic. Coach Phillips went to a meeting, but last Thursday. You know, I haven't even caught up with him because we've just been so busy with testing and things. He went to a meeting down at Baker Sporting Goods in Jacksonville about that. We'll still play University Christian over there. Yeah, over there in Brunswick. Oh, okay. And then we've got to go to Dublin this year because we didn't go last year because of the bad weather.
Yeah,
so that's why we only have 4 home games, okay? It's not that I intentionally scheduled 6 away games, but we had the neutral game and we have to go to Dublin again this year.
Gotcha. Sammy, got anything else, man?
Coach, I'm going to put you on the spot here real quick. I know you're a big baseball fan. We see you out there about every game. Give me your prediction for tomorrow.
Oh, I don't know much about Washington Wilkes. I know that they took us 3 games last year. I will say this about our team, what I've watched this year. When they're on, they're on. And when you got I think we got some of the best pitchers in the state. We have to. Yeah. There cannot be a school our size having the pitching that we've got. You know, and if we put it in play and not hit all them pop-ups, you know, we might liable to score like they did the other day, 25 runs in 2 games. Yeah. You know, but that's all I can say about that. Of course, I'm rooting for the good guys, you know, for sure. I think they're very capable of winning, you know, and advancing on to the Final Four, right? The semifinals. But just like everything, nothing's given. You know, they got to earn it. They can't go out there cocky and stuff. I'll be tightening them up tomorrow. I have a lot of them in my classes, and you know, I'll do my part to help get them ready. But yeah, I'm excited about watching them. You know, like I said about our pitchers, gosh, they're daggone good.
That's right.
And I don't know if I could touch a ball that they throw, and you know, it just all together, defense is good, and you know, offense, you know, we scored a lot of runs. Of course, we've been held some too, but you know, baseball is a funny sport. And a lot of times the best team doesn't win.
That's right.
But I think the team that just goes out there and gives it their all, and you know, if they try to, you know, coach has got one of those shirts he had, just do more. If they do more, and they go out there and win today, try to do everything they can, I think they're unstoppable. I really do. I'm excited about it for sure.
I love the support the football team gave them.
Well, you
when
know,
I walked over during that spring practice, that was a shot in the arm. Those boys started hitting the ball right when y'all walked over.
yeah, I think right when we hit the gate, Gannon hit that 3-run home run, and you know, that's another thing they really wanted to see, and you know, that's the part about being a high school kid. You know, it was like, well, I never did get to see them, you know, play in a playoff game. I'm telling you right now, the 2 state championships we won in baseball, I didn't get to see us win it because I was coaching golf and we were off in freaking just about Tennessee at golf matches, and I watched them on the internet. Thank goodness to y'all. But you know, like I said, it's about being a kid, experiencing things, you know, and they need to have that memory. You know, whether if you're just saying, hey, I was there when we won. You know, I was there when Gannon hit a 3-run home run. I was there when, you know, Eli, whatever, you know, threw this guy out stealing, or Jude did this, or, you know, they need to, just like they probably do with us, you know, at the ball games. You know, I was there when we won our first region title since 2009. I remember we had to do it. Jalen looked like he was going to hand that ball to Jalen, and he just took it around 4th and 1. The coach going, man, it was 4th and 1. I can't believe it. Tried to kick the field goal. G could have kicked it, but you know, ran it, scored. Some of us going to say that, you know, and then that's what it needs to be about for sure.
All right, man. Well, if there's everybody's got all what they want to get out. All right, good, Coach. I appreciate you as always.
Thank
man.
you.
I know it's been a busy spring for us. It's been hard to follow y'all in spring this year because our schedule's been crazy.
I told you, like, you were worried about getting the money to me for that thing. I said, I know where you live. He laughed. Yeah. I said, no, that CSN trailer.
I know you sent me a text this morning saying I just about lived in that trailer.
That's
We
right.
just about did this
Well,
year.
I'm sure, you know, and it's, you know, it's good what you do for the kids and the parents. There's a lot, you know, there's still a lot of parents out there in this world that can't get off.
Yeah.
You know, and I'm glad they work because a lot of people don't work. You know, they have to make those sacrifices, and you enable them. If they don't catch it live, they can catch it when they get home. You know, and it's good. And
Well, we hear about it when we don't catch it live too. Let me tell you.
well, I'm sure, but you know, it is what it is, and then that's another thing they can have, you know, forever. Because I don't know, there's ways you can copy what you do, and you can have it forever. You know, so.
I appreciate you, Coach.
Yes,
Thanks
sir.
a lot.
Yes, sir.
Sammy, I appreciate you, man,
sir.
down there.
Yep.
We'll see y'all next time on the Coach Murray Show.
Yeah, I'm gonna one day figure out how many legacies we got. I get sitting here, guys that I